Hey, it's good to see you again. So someone had asked me to do a comparison between 3 different types of Gogetas: Deadeye, Ethereal, and Monarch, to see which one's the best one. So here's my Gogeta right now. This is what I'm working with. Not really the best stats or the right trait for him, so I need to go ahead and do that real quick. So if you're here and just want to see the showcase real quick, you just want to figure out the answer, skip to this part right here, this timestamp. I want to figure out, like, because I know some people are questioning how I actually get the units I have, how to get the good stats on them, and how to actually build those units. So if you want to see that, then stay around for this. So I'm going to start off here by first rolling his trait, because that's the thing we need the most. We're looking for either Monarch, Deadeye, or Ethereal. Either one works. The other two I'll do in sandbox mode. I got Ethereal on him, which is perfect. Okay, up next is getting stats for him. So the way I like to farm stat chips is from various different shops. Favorite being Rift shops, because you can get 50 whole stat chips from it. So why do I need stat chips for it if you don't have Z+ on his range? So if you roll stats on a unit you don't really care about too much, in my case Ethereal, like a unit that's unevolved but mythical rarity, you can get Z+ or even a God stat and then transfer it over from there, which is a lot better than trying to do super stat chips, because super stat chips in this game are kind of useless. But yeah, so I did a rift real quick to get enough rift shards. I need a lot of rift shards for this, so I'll go through this rift really quickly. I did a solo rift because no one wanted to join me, I don't know why. Okay, I'm gonna quickly go through this rift real quick because you've seen me do rifts a million times in the past. So I set up my Escanor at the beginning to get his passive. So if you know his passive, if units walk right out of his range, they take 5 times his damage. Like, I have to place them like a little bit out of range from respawn, that way they immediately take damage. I went ahead and maxed out my units, and then the rest of it was just easy. There was no struggle at all. They died immediately, in fact. I need to remember to stop moving around so much, because if I put in 5 times speed, it kind of like lags a lot. I'm sorry about that. Alright, the boss has spawned and is now approaching our team. It's not in 5 times speed anymore, because I want to show you guys how fast this boss dies in real time. His health gets immediately melted. You can also see my Escanor back there. I replaced them back there because I need them for extra damage. Well, need is a strong word. This rift is insanely easy with my team. It's nice to be overpowered in the game. It took me a long time to get here, actually, a little over a month. So now we're back into the lobby again, and I can go ahead and buy the stat chips. So you can get 50 whole stat chips from this, which is insane, isn't it? That's an incredible amount. So I went ahead and bought those. I was considering buying the trait rolls, but not for this video, different video I'll do that for. There we go, some stat chips. So I'm looking for mostly like Z to Z+ stats. If I can get God stats, that's also really nice. So I end up rolling a pretty good stat on this slime. However, I'm not going to be spending it on Gogeta since I don't plan on really using him. So you don't see it in this video, it's in a different video. But I spent that God stat on another one of my units that I really needed it on. Then I'm looking for Z+. I'm not looking for something as high as God stats, I'm looking for something like just Z+. Good enough to be like, not questionable, right? It's like about the same as God stats, but since I don't really plan on using Gogeta past this point, don't see much of a point in getting God stats. So I ran out of regular stat chips, so I went to go buy some super stat chips that can roll 1 stat at a time. Not really a smart idea, but for this one it was really good because I ended up getting another Z+. Really lucky. Oh, also, by the way, I had Ethereal, she had a Z stat which could have been evolved into a Z+ for damage. So I did it later in the video. But right now I want to focus more on Gogeta. So we keep rolling until we get a good stat on him. And eventually we get a Z+, which is really nice, really convenient. It means I don't have to do any more stat transfers on SPA. Did a few on attack, but didn't get anything good. So now for the next step, I'm off to do a challenge, so I can get some extra stat rolls. But mostly the Essence Stones for Ethereal, because I need to evolve her to a Z+ stat, which then I can transfer that Z+ over to Gogeta, so it's a whole process, but eventually I get it done. This challenge is insanely easy now. There's not really much things in this game where I can't beat. I am working on putting out a video, like I want to see what stage gives my team troubles. So far, nothing's really giving my team any kind of trouble. It's been amazing, actually. Everything's been incredibly easy. That's also a good time to mention right now, since I'm on that kind of topic, that yes, I did see this comment, and I am going to work on. I'm actually currently working on a Noob to Pro video for you guys. That's completely free, no summer event, and completely solo, no help. So I'm working on that. It might take me a few days though. That one's kind of difficult. This one though, the Gogeta one, I can do it pretty easily. Just gotta max out my Gogeta real quick. I'm not gonna get gods after them because I just don't see the point. Because I'm not really gonna use Gogeta very much. So C plus, I'll say with C plus. C plus is good enough. Gods has to turn all my main units. So I quickly got that done. The challenge cannot handle our units at all. Now I immediately go over to stat rerolling again. I'm gonna reroll on the slime bit, then check out my Yoroichi. The next thing to do is get some kills. We did enough for stone. We did enough essence stones and everything. Well, not really. We did go craft them, dismantle, and then we go over to story mode and do infinites because we need to get takedowns. That's the last part. Also, good time to show you guys how I set up my Yoroichi. Not Yoroichi, but like any kind of farm at all for this stuff. Place all the units that you're gonna use to get takedowns at the beginning to attack the enemies. Then place a strong unit in the back to kill them afterwards. And just wait there for a while. That's kind of what I did. Eventually, I got plenty of takedowns, and I went straight back into lobby. And then something kind of unfortunate happened. It's lucky, but kind of unfortunate. We rolled on the slime unit just in case we need something, like in case you got something good, and we got Z plus on damage, which means the whole Yoroichi part of this, where we wanted to get the evolution for Z plus, was kind of pointless. So we got maxed out Gogeta, or close enough to maxed out Gogeta, as far as maxed out goes. So the next part is going to be a testing. So this is where those of you who want like just a test, there you go. Because I do a lot of testing with this unit. Okay, so before I get into this, look at my team real quick. So to get this kind of damage to them, this is the team you have to use to get that kind of damage. So if the team there, yes, the boss will be kind of slowed and like have different effects on them from the other units. But if you want this kind of damage, gotta use the kind of team that works with them. So I feel like it's kind of fair, because this is what like the results you'd probably get. So I need to build up his crit damage by getting attacks on him. His passes allow him to get more critical damage each time he lands a critical attack, so basically just every attack. He caps out at a certain point though. Okay, so this is going to be kind of confusing, because figuring out his damage is difficult when there's multiple placements of like different units around constantly. So the way I'm going to do this is be kind of strange. So I build up his critical damage again, and I'm actually going to screenshot to his damage he has before I spawn the boss. Then after the boss goes through his range, I'll take the end result, subtract it by his initial damage, and that'll give me the damage he did to that boss. And I'll do that for each Gogeta, so all three Gogetas, because there's replacements of them. Except for Monarch. Monarch was actually a lot easier, so I really wish it was just a Monarch one, because this would have been a lot easier, but I really want to see as well which one was better, Monarch, Ethereal, or Deadeye. So here is Deadeye first. I meant to say Ethereal. At 130. So what was the numbers again? Let me calculate real quick. Yeah, the first one had 142.8. So 142.8. What's the number right now? 142.8. It's 148.91. 148.91. Okay, hold on, this is annoying. 148.91. 148. Okay. 124.42. 124.42. 18 million damage in total with Ethereal, so that's Ethereal. Okay, now this is where it kind of gets a little more tricky. I now need to use the unit manager to spawn them in with the trait I desire, because I only have Ethereal right now. And there's no way I'm farming 2 more Gogetas to get Deadeye and Monarch. I barely even get Monarchs. So I'm gonna use the unit manager here. It's not always the most accurate thing, but it's as good as I can get right now. So here is Deadeye. I said Ethereal last time, right? Or did I say Deadeye before I started this one? I think I said Deadeye. Okay, here's Deadeye this time. Not Ethereal. No, wait, yeah. for the calculations again. 8.43. This is the Deadeye, so 8.43 minus the first one here, 3.22. Plus second one, 8.16. 8.16 minus. Okay, I want to refresh this. 3.07. Maybe it's my computer lagging really badly, I don't know. 2.76 is the next one. 2.76. 7.61. 15.15. So he's actually worse at Deadeye. That was actually shocking. I thought Deadeye was going to do more crit damage, but I guess the 1.75 you get from Deadeye doesn't stack with the new crit damage. I'm not sure how it worked, but he had less crit damage with Deadeye than he did have with Ethereal. I've been noticing the same trend with Broly as well, and with Guts. The Deadeye doesn't stack with the actual damage they get from extra outside sources. Okay, a little disclaimer here. So in the unit, ooh, that sound. So in the unit manager, I'm just realizing this just now. It's so dumb. Like an hour later, the unit manager doesn't equip the Chili Familiar. That's why he had less crit damage. The Chili Familiar gave him 40% extra crit damage. I don't exactly know how much more damage that would put him, but I'm assuming that's probably going to make him a little bit better than Ethereal if he had that Familiar on him. Should I have unequipped my Familiar before going into this? Absolutely, that was completely on me. But it applies to Monarch here, so the Monarch one is accurate. The Deadeye one, I'm assuming because he's only 3 million behind, and he was missing 40% of his damage, which is a huge reduction. So in my eyes, Deadeye is better than Ethereal. I'm sorry. Anyways, here's Monarch, the long-awaited one. Yep, Ethereal's the best one. It would seem that way. Yeah. Surprising, I did not think Ethereal was going to be good on him at all. Again, I kind of messed that one up. That was a huge blunder on my part. But the Monarch one did do less than the Ethereal. And I'm assuming if I had the Familiar, which I can't put on the unit manager anyways, I'm assuming Deadeye would have been his best trait by far. Only 3 million behind and kind of reduced by 40% extra damage that he could have had. I mean, I think Ethereal the Deadeye definitely won that one. But yeah, that's huge mistake on my part. I didn't think the unit manager wouldn't have the Familiar. Some thoughts I have on this unit is I don't really think he's all that worth it, since you need a full team to make him work like this. And be honest with me, like, you're not gonna use Hercules and Goku. No one's using that. So I don't really know when you would possibly use this unit. I'm assuming it's probably be really useful in the future because of his passives being like really good for fused units. As of right now, I don't really see too much of a purpose for him. Yeah, that was all the testing, so thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys later. And have an amazing night, and stay safe out there. Bye.